What's cooking, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we're jumping into some more Orcs Must Die Unchained. This time we're heading into the Academy sewers because I already attempted to record this once but forgot to hit the record button. So basically we're going to do it again. Or I'm going to do it again and you guys will see it for the first time. But this map actually isn't too difficult for Oziel, mainly because there's a lot of places where you can get some really good damage dealt, and that actually makes this not too tough. If you bring a BGH trap, there's some nice nooks that you can put some big game hunting ballistas in. You can also use the arrow walls or pretty much anything, but the zapper is probably the hardest one to use here just because of the unique space restrictions for this map. We're going to bring the lightning ring. I like to put the lightning in 2 and the firewall bracers, and that's pretty much the setup. You can drop Big Spender and use making it rain if you like. It'll probably result in, where is it? More coin? No, that's a natural born sprinter. And then I'll go with Feeling Fierce, and that should pretty much be it. We have our fire and physical discounts here since we have a mix of fire and physical traps, and we're just gonna hop in.
You can't escape what fate has wrought.
Alright, so not sure what fate has wrought, but I know why I'm here. I'm slaying some orcs. So I like to basically force the enemies to dogpile into a single lane here rather than doubling it up. It allows you to save a bit of trap space, and you also get to deal some really nice damage at the same time.
I almost feel sorry for them. Almost.
Now, I like to put the Spitfires across from the wall blades and use the wall blades on the more plentiful walls. If you decided to bring a spike wall, you can place that here. This is a 1.5 unit space, which is literally the perfect length for the spike wall, and it'll fling the enemies back here, so let you use these walls a bit more too. Either way, this is a good starting setup, in my opinion at least, if you want to get some damage dealt. And we're going to drop Stable Hand back here so that we can make use of his speed whenever we need to. The top section here is going to be really good for swinging maces. If you don't use a barricade here, they'll actually path more into the center of the swinging mace. Here the swinging mace won't be quite as good, but it'll still be solid.
The enemy has opened a minion portal.
One thing that you can do is place a Floor Scorcher pointed up this lane here towards the gate, and it will be able to burn the enemies as they come out of it, and it should work pretty well. Keep in mind that these guys can actually take up quite a bit of your time if you don't focus fire them, because they will heal as their surrounding allies die, and that is always a problem.
I will reap them.
Keep in mind, fire from more than one damage source will stack, so a Spitfire and a Floor Scorcher are a good way to get some solid damage dealt to the group as they pass through here. Basically like your dual wielding flamethrowers, but they magically deal different types of fire damage. Like I said, focus the bears, focus the bears. Alright, those guys die, and then we are going to hop up the stairs here. They still have to break through the gate, so it's okay to
Watch out! Our enemies are broken through again.
go ahead and get things started.
Is this what I'm reduced to? Setting traps.
Now, you're going to have some Dwarf Shamans up here. They're probably your biggest problem. But luckily, these guys don't heal. Gonna grab Jagged Shards for my Jar o' Doom. Patent pending.
The rift will be protected.
And then we're going to add some more slows here.
They will not survive.
After the next wave, they'll basically have you start dealing with the lanes individually. But we're basically going to prepare ourselves to have to deal with a boss because they should be coming out relatively soon. And again, BGH Ballistas, very solid to use on this map because of the unique spacing that you're allowed. Most of the ceiling space here is actually all half width locations. Oh, just dodged that. Like, you can actually place ceiling traps here and here, but only if they're half a unit wide, which means that the lightning rods are actually very useful. Guess the Guardian's up there doing his job. Good to know. Make sure you keep the fire damage consistent.
They've summoned a boss minion.
There's our boss. Really not worried about him too much. Already got some combo deaths going.
The boss minion is down.
All right. I'm not sure exactly what those guys are doing, but they're getting tripped up all over the place because of that floor scorcher. Keep an eye on your cooldowns so that you can use them when you need them to maximize your damage and combos. Enemies with that steady ability and also having Dwarf Shaman shields on them get super annoying super fast. Alright, but now we need to run to the other side to make sure that we can get to these guys before they get in a compromising position.
An unstable rift is opening. Destroy it.
Now when this happens, let the unstable rift open. It's not the worst thing that could happen to you. If you can't trust that all the enemies up here will die anyway.
More than one way to skin a mortal.
I misplaced that. Okay. We can fix that after the fact. We have plenty of time. Because the enemies that are coming from that unstable rift still need to path into the area where all of your traps are. So, not that big a deal. Alright, we're just going to drop this right here. And they've basically almost died already.
What is this level nonsense?
Did something die like literally as it crawled out of the gate? Probably. Using fire is particularly good on this map because of the fact that you're dealing with soldiers, and their steady ability will reduce the damage of traps that either don't deal damage over multiple units at a time or just burn you. Because fire really does all of that. Of course, that makes it one of the best choices, if not the best outright. Whoa. Not sure why you didn't burn me there. Okay, that was a little odd. Didn't place that soon enough. So that should be 2 traps, but I only have 1 there. That will be fixed eventually. Actually, there's a couple of things I need to fix there, but soon. Right. As long as the Guardian gets that part, I should be okay. What we actually want to do is the same thing that we did back there, just making sure that we place a barricade on the side to force the enemies into a narrower position. And then, of course, we can duplicate the firewalls and wall blades and such that will be over here. Now I'm going to take the time to fix this side after these guys die. You can choose to place some extra traps at the landing there, that flat area at the bottom of the ramp, to get some extra damage done. This should actually help out immensely versus the heavier HP enemies, especially if you're using something like floor spikes. Oh no. Alright, one of you guys is just gonna have to eat that, and here we go. So we actually want to do two spike wall, or two wall blades there, and then put a floor spitfire at the end.
If you're sure.
There we go, that was the right trap name. I am absolutely not tired. Alright, and then of course we can throw the jar of heroes right into the center and have that rack a large amount of these satyrs at once, and multiple satyrs that come through after the fact. Alright, and now this starts to get particularly easy because most of our traps are set up. There's really not much else for us to do here. We can place one of these, and that's really it. There shouldn't be anything that actually survives that far. And geez, that guy got literally murdered right in the face. The combination of bears and dwarven shamans is particularly strong because of the HP regeneration and then the 80% damage reduction. So be careful with that. If you take out the dwarf shamans, the shield will dissipate and they won't get it back. Alright, and this should be the last, no, probably the second to last time that we have to run back upstairs. But now we can make this place a bit more burny. And there we go there. We can also add some more wall blades, which will make that side even a bit more dangerous. And if they happen to get flipped on this into the wall blades, unholy amounts of damage. Alright, so this is our last real wave. Afterwards we get a split. You should start at the bottom on the final wave, and then you'll come back up here and have to deal with a Swifty Hose. Although the traps that we have here should probably make quick work of Swifty Hose with very little input from you. Though the lower level your traps, the more damage you'll have to make up for. So still shouldn't be that much. Just don't forget that BGH Ballista are your friend. Alright, and that should be pretty much it for these guys. We're gonna let him come forward and get burned up a bit. Now we're at the last bit of this. Alright, so these guys are going to bunch up right about the time where they meet up here. That's, if you're going to throw any sort of AoE ability out, that's really where you want it. And since that's sort of AoE and over time, that is an excellent place. Alright, as you see the last ones of those guys sort of shriveling up and popping, you can head down here and just clean up like the first handfuls of satyrs. They won't be particularly tough because you should have a lot of traps out here by now.
The boss minion has entered the battlefield.
But you will get something like this, Feel free to take advantage of those ectoplasmic skulls or souls with the explosion, and they will make quick work of Swifty Hooves. The BGH ballistas will handle him otherwise. There we go. Nice. Alright, and we did pretty much equivalent damage to the traps, which is pretty solid. Normally, I might have done a bit more if I didn't take the time to place quite as many traps and just did it with hero damage, but hero damage on this map is very strong due to its condensed area. But that's going to be it for this. As always, feel free to let me know what you guys think of this particular map and Oziel thus far. We're nearing the end of the Rift Lord run with him. We have 2 more maps, Croak and Keep and Eventide, and of course those should be up on the same day in the future. Oops, not starting it now. Either way, thanks for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it, and as always, until next time, have a good one, folks.